So what do you do if you are hit by a driver with no insurance in South Carolina? This is a good question, and it can get complicated. Um, what very few people know is that in South Carolina, somewhere around 1 out of every 10 drivers out on the road don't have any insurance. It's illegal, but their insurance has expired or they never got it in the first place or whatever. And that means that about 400,000 drivers in South Carolina at any given time do not have insurance. And if they cause a wreck and it hurts you, you ordinarily go after that person's car insurance to pay for the damage to your car and your injuries, and if there's physical pain or disability or lost income, all that kind of stuff. Those insurance claims are intended to go after the other driver who caused the accident. If that other driver does not have insurance and they don't have assets, which a lot of times these folks do not have those kinds of assets or the ability to pay for the harm that's come to you, then you could be in a real pickle. Okay, you could be in a serious situation. So the way it works is that if you have a car insurance policy in South Carolina, that policy, if you bought it in South Carolina, that policy will have uninsured motorist coverage, right? So it's covering you against uninsured motorists who may harm you. Okay, so that's the good news. If you have a South Carolina auto insurance policy, you undoubtedly have this uninsured coverage. However, the coverage may be relatively low. That's something to be aware of. In the vast majority of cases, the coverage will be just $25,000 would be the top limit for your medical bills to be paid, for lost income, for everything. Okay, so that's something to be aware of, are those low limits. But beyond that, you might think that if it's your own insurance company that's covering you, that it might be fairly straightforward and easy to deal with them. Unfortunately, because it's an insurance claim and because of how things work, it can be just as difficult, sometimes more difficult, in a situation where you're going after your own coverage to pay for your damages than it would be otherwise. So, in other words, what I'm saying is the insurance company will often, even if it's yours, fight to delay or deny or minimize your claim. And so when you're in this situation, and it does end up being a situation where you're going after your own uninsured motorist coverage, you have to fight and scratch and claw, figuratively, not literally, to get your damages paid for, just like you would in any other case. So uninsured motorist coverage is extremely important, especially when we have almost 500,000 uninsured drivers in South Carolina, 1 in 10. And just be aware that that issue's out there. And make sure you are protected with uninsured motorist coverage. Hope that helps.